What's up you guys, it's Ben and welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything there is relating to selling on Amazon. So, it's the end of the month and I thought it would be a good idea for me to share with you my results selling on Amazon FBA in the month of May of 2021. Now, I'm making this video not exactly to show off how good or great I am and look at me and whatever. I'm making this video for two reasons and two reasons only. Number one, I personally think it's a great idea always for fellow sellers to actually compare their results. At the end of the day, quite a few of you haven't started selling yet, but quite a lot of you have already been selling on Amazon FBA. And in my personal opinion, it's important to compare because then you get a better idea of how well you're doing with the rest of the market. Is it something that you could potentially do something about? Let's say your sales have dropped down whilst everybody else is still selling really well. Maybe change your PPC campaigns, maybe reduce your price or whatever. Or is it just that time of the year where everybody is selling less or more on Amazon? It is really important to know how well you're doing in comparison to somebody else so you don't make any rash decisions and therefore hurt your business in the short term. Secondly, guys, I'm also making this video for all the new sellers out there. People that are getting bombarded by all of these videos stating that Amazon FBA is dead in 2021, that there is no more money to be made in this year at all, given that we are now out of the COVID pandemic effectively. Well, I want to show you guys here and prove to you that there is still so much money to be made on Amazon FBA, that the business model is not dead at all. It's alive and well. Yes, it's a bit more tricky now to list new products on Amazon FBA, and yes, it is a little bit more competitive. However, the pie of how many people are actually buying online has grown exponentially in the last few years as well. So I want to share my results and hopefully give you some motivation to kickstart your Amazon FBA journey as quickly as possible and hopefully get you to leave your 9-to-5 and do this full time like I've been doing. With that being said, guys, if you are interested in selling on Amazon and you really want to take this seriously and you are just starting off and you need some help with potentially product research, speaking to suppliers, maybe arranging your first products, please don't forget to check the links down below for my own personal mentorship. Otherwise, guys, if you're starting off on a relatively low budget, please don't forget to check the links down below for my Helium 50% off discount of the best product research tool out there. Awesome, the best e-commerce accountants out there in the market at the moment that I could find, or Tide, the perfect business bank account to start off your Amazon FBA business. With that being said, guys, let's get straight to the video. Right, so let's get straight into the numbers. And effectively in the month of May, as you can see, I made almost £65,000 in sales selling on Amazon FBA. And this has been a clear increase from the month before, which was around £54,000 or £55,000. Now, primarily one of the reasons why the month of April was so low was obviously because lockdown was coming to an end. Effectively, it was being eased and more people were going outside. They were no longer under lockdown in their own home, and therefore they had more time and various other things to do as opposed to just shopping online. And we can see that from various Google Trends data when it comes to online shopping, Amazon, eBay, and so on and so forth. And this was the very first time ever in the month of April where my previous year was actually higher. With less product selling, it was higher than this year because what happened was last year around the month of April was when everybody went into severe lockdown, had nothing else to do but to shop online, whereas this year the exact reverse happened, and unfortunately I was able to make far less money this year than I did last year. However, in the month of May, things have changed. Things have started to go back to normal, so to speak, and I started to see an increase in my revenue year on year once again. And as you can see, I was predicting around £60,000 in sales, and I was able to make around £65,000 in sales at the end of the month, and that equates to around about £10,000 in profit, so to speak. Now, why is the profit so low? Because usually I go for about 20 to 30% profit margin. Well, it's for a simple reason of the storage limits that I have been speaking about probably about a week ago, of what has been introduced by Amazon that us sellers now that want to be flexible need to do something about. And we're going to speak about that in a minute. But also what I wanted to show you as well, which is actually quite interesting, and I always like to keep an eye on this statistic too, is basically my unit session percentage, guys. This is something that I think you should be keeping an eye on as well. This basically means each and every single month, what is the percentage of all of your viewers that will make a purchasing decision and buy your product? And as you can see, I'm really happy to see that every single month, usually my now unit session percentage has gone up and up and up, which is a really good positive thing to do. This is how I judge how well my listings are doing. When people click onto my listing, how likely are they to buy? Now, usually anything above 20% is good, okay? So having 25% and almost 26% is actually really good, because that means that more and more people are likely to buy from me as opposed to somebody else. It also shows that my listings are going up onto the first page more than it was before, because I'm getting now more sessions than I did before as well. As you can see, it went up by almost 2,000, even though I've been selling roughly the same amount of products. This is the information that you really have to get into. These are the reports that, in my opinion, you really have to get into on a monthly basis to see how each and every single one of your listings have been doing, which ones have not been doing so well, which ones have been, and what is the overall figure, and if there is anything else that you can do to potentially improve. Because some of my students start off really low with a session percentage of around 15 to 12%, and then we have to look into the listing once again and see, can we do anything about the images? Can we do anything about the listing, the SEO? Potentially maybe the price is too high or too low or whatever, okay? So this is really important. Now, let's talk about the next big thing that I really wanted to speak about today, because this has changed Amazon so much that I believe a lot of people actually undervalue, and that is the restock limits. I believe in the beginning of month of May, I think maybe mid-May, Amazon basically changed their restock limits from inventory from product per product to basically per account. So now all of us get judged on how much we sell through each and every single month, and Amazon will give us a figure of how much inventory we can actually send to their warehouses for them to then fulfill on our behalf. And this has had massive impact, because instead of us sending endless amounts of inventory into the Amazon FBA warehouses, Amazon said, now stop, no more of that. Basically, we will limit you how much you can send for any product into the warehouse. And when those restock limits came into play, I was gobsmacked by how little I was allowed to sell, because I was having around 13,000 units, but my maximum inventory level allowed was around 6,000. So what I had to do, and this is why my sales have increased so dramatically since last month, is I had to reduce the price on quite a lot of my products to increase the sell-through rate in order to increase how many products I'm selling. So basically what I decided to do is I wanted to reduce the amount of inventory I have on Amazon, and I wanted to increase the sell-through rate at the same time to make sure that I'm having an increase in my maximum inventory level. And as you can see from my previous videos, I was around 6,500 if memory serves me right. I have now been pushed up to 8,600 units allowed. And this is really important to me, because that means I am now able to send more units into Amazon FBA warehouse than I did before. And I'm very close to actually going under the maximum limit once again. Now, how did I do this? Basically, I looked at the products that was selling really slowly, and I reduced the price on them dramatically to the point where I was around the break-even point, okay? And this resulted in my FBA sell-through rate starting to slowly go up. It went up from 1.13 all of a sudden to 120 to now 1.21. And as a result of this, Amazon has looked into my account effectively, and each and every single week they determine how much inventory should we allow this seller to send into our Amazon FBA warehouses. And given the fact that they have seen that the FBA sell-through rate has gone up, they now want to see more of my inventory into the Amazon FBA warehouses, because they can see that my inventory is shifting that much faster. Now, once I go under the limit, I will increase my prices back up to normal, and therefore will start making profit once again on those slower selling products. But now what I'll be able to do is start drip feeding the inventory much slower at much lower quantities as well, because I want to continue selling as many products as I possibly can. And also this has been really frustrating, because I currently have 2 products that I can't send 1 unit into the Amazon FBA warehouse. They're completely brand new. I can't wait to launch them. However, I now literally have to sit and wait until I'm under that limit that a lot of us have been impacted by. Also, guys, another thing that I did this month that I also think you should be thinking about as well is moving storage units. Basically, I have now found a better supplier for storage, and I had to move all in my inventory, and I'm talking about 500 to 600 boxes from one storage unit to another. Now I'm going to be making a separate video on this very soon on how to determine what storage unit to go for, what to look out for, and so on and so forth, because I do believe this information is very valuable to all of you new sellers out there who haven't done this before. This is something that you can very easily trip on and really cost you a lot of time and money if you don't get it right the first time, which is exactly what happened to me. So that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. I really hope you found it useful. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how well you've been doing in the month of May. I would really like to know. Check out the mentorship links, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.